graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Is any of it real? I mean, look at this. Look at it! A world built on fantasy. Synthetic emotions in the form of pills. Psychological warfare in the form of advertising. Mind-altering chemicals in the form of food. Brainwashing seminars in the form of media. Controlled, isolated bubbles in the form of social networks. Real? You want to talk about reality? We haven't lived in anything remotely close to it since the turn of the century. We turned it off, took out the batteries, snacked on a bag of GMOs while we tossed the remnants in the ever-expanding dumpster of the human condition. We live in branded houses, trademarked by corporations, built on bipolar numbers, jumping up and down on digital displays, hypnotizing us into the biggest slumber mankind has ever seen. You have to dig pretty deep, kiddo, before you can find anything real. We live in a kingdom of bullshit. A kingdom you've lived in for far too long.
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. Please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net. Now, here's Chris Cologne and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jen.
And Jen and I actually waited an hour and a half for fucking Paul to finish doing whatever the hell he was doing, which we'll get to in a second.
Fuck you.
Just so Paul can mute the mic and do his geeky ink business. But actually, me and Jen were kind of going back and forth. We were like, because it was about an hour. You said, "Oh, I'll be on in about an hour." And I'm like, trying to get laid over here.
Wait. First of all, I get out of the car at 10:30, and immediately I hear ting, and it's like, so you want to record a podcast tonight?
And as we are on record from the last fucking episode, I said we're recording this week. One, because Jen is not around on Fridays to record, the other nights to record, and it's be nice to have a weekly show like we used to have. So I was like, if Paul doesn't fucking make it, if Paul flakes, then at least Jen and I can have a lovely podcast, which we could have had a fucking podcast waiting for you to come and show up, but here we are. And so Jen and I were trying to decide exactly how does that hour break down for you to get laid. And I had said it's 58 minutes of you trying to get it up and 2 minutes of actual party.
How many times have you had your pipes cleaned?
Well, yeah. Well, not since about...
Exactly.
Not since about
so you
2 days before my birthday.
You should understand the struggle, okay? You should understand the struggle. And let me put it this way, okay?
But the struggle that
I have not... Wait. Oh, no, I have no problem getting it up.
Okay, sure.
So, and you can ask my fiance about that. But anyways.
Yeah, you're with her right hand tonight. Don't even lie.
No, not at all. I don't need my right hand anymore.
Sure.
Not when she can use her right hand to get me off. anyways. So, yeah, I haven't had a day off in like 2 weeks.
Oh, because the two jobs and...
Oh, let's see, I'm working 36 hours. I'm working about 30 hours at my one job, and then over that, actually, like 30-something hours at my other, at the gas station, between the two gas stations, so, ugh.
So how is it, have they started the whole bag checking policy?
Yes, it's been checking. I mean...
You getting a lot of pushback on that, or what?
No, not really. There's no really pushback. I mean, there's people that have actually asked, like, oh, is somebody going to shoot me in the theater or something? Like, I don't know if it's mostly been joking or it's been, like, whatever.
So,
but I don't really check, like, everybody's bag. Like, if I see somebody bring a book bag in, I'm like, all right, you need to open that up. You know what I mean?
And really, who the fuck... Okay, women with purses is one thing, but really, who the fuck brings bags into a fucking movie theater?
Well, I mean, other than parents, who makes sense, but it's like, unless you're a parent, you really don't need it. And I have people that actually try to come into my theater that are clearly not parents, and if they are, I question how they parent. Mm-hmm. Let's put it that way.
So, Jen, you don't strike me as a purse girl. Are you a purse girl?
No, I'm a bag girl.
A bag girl?
Like a hobo bag from Hot Topic.
A hobo bag?
It's just like it's just like a bag that hangs on your shoulder, and it has Batman on it.
Like a messenger bag?
Not really.
Okay,
it's like a little sack.
What's in your sack?
Giggity, giggity.
Let me see what's in your sack. So
Chris would love to see what's in your sack.
Well, because Jen and I we were kind of breaking the ice for the past hour and a half while we were waiting for fucking Paul to finish coming.
Excellent.
Because Jen, for new listeners to the show, Jen has recently become more of a frequent guest on a frequent commentator or a co-host on your other podcast, the Tsunami Faithful.
You're welcome.
And it's the first time she's been on this show, even after. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying for fucking. Has it been? I think it's been about a year since I've been trying to get Jen on this show. But we're finally here! Yay! Welcome all the new listeners. And so far, and also Paul. I mean, we kind of have to put out a weekly show. I don't want to get a fucking hate mail from Oscar. I haven't gotten one yet.
Well, we got a hate Facebook post, kind of.
Did we?
From what's his name, about how we don't.
Oh yeah,
what's his name?
Oh my buddy Sean. Sean, because I had invited him on the podcast. Like I said, he was an amateur wrestler for a little while. Now he's actually going to school to be a funeral director. So he is a legitimate undertaker. I mean,
wait. There's a school for that?
Yeah, there's like laws and how to handle bodies and embalming bodies and cremating bodies, and you have to learn a lot of laws to fucking be a.
I don't know if I would want to do that.
Well, somebody's got to fucking do it. Everybody dies.
That's true. That's true.
Exactly.
That's one of the few businesses that will never. What, people are not going to die anymore? You know.
That's true.
And so Sean and I had extended the I extended the invitation to him fucking months ago, and once again the invitation still stays. Sean, whenever you want to be on the show, dude, come on. And fun. I mean, like I said, he was a amateur wrestler. He's going to school right now to be a funeral director. I would love to know exactly what they're learning. I know, like, you have to. He puts posts on Facebook talking about. You do kind of have to learn anatomy when it comes to like having to do with embalming a body. I think, you have to learn about how to cremate a body. I think he just got his certification, even though he says he doesn't want to do that in particular. But, yeah, dude, there's all types of crazy, funky laws, when it comes to, regarding. And, look, dude, it's not the fucking dead you have to worry about. It's the fucking living.
That's true.
It's the living that'll fuck you over. I've never heard of this isn't The Walking Dead. I've never heard of a dead guy hurting you. It's the fucking living that fucking want to take your shit. Dead guy just fucking lays there. Right?
This is true. Yeah.
So he was talking about, because last week we had sort of mentioned NXT. Now I don't have the WWE Network. Because were you watching it? Or do you have the WWE Network, or? I
don't, but I've watched some. I basically watched that kind of stuff online.
Oh, okay. Well, fell off a truck?
What's
Did
that?
It fall off a truck?
No, it didn't fall off a truck. You're such an asshole.
Well,
Did it fall off a truck?
I'm just saying, I mean, nowadays, like, you could get fucking anything. Like, I guess, I was watching, just to kind of get myself, I was watching these matches recently, not necessarily NXT, I was watching, these matches with Paige, one of the new female wrestlers. Not new, excuse me. She's been around for like 2-3 years now. But she's like this freaking pale chick. I mean, I've only saw like one. They were watching one match where she was, she was commentating, and it was like AJ. I love AJ Lee. Oh my Jesus Lord.
Well, she already retired, actually.
Yeah, and so I haven't been watching NXT, but I was watching because someone had mentioned Paige on a Facebook post of mine. So I said, all right, let me go on YouTube. And one of the matches I watched was like her fucking WrestleMania match. And it's like, so, it's funny how YouTube is so strict on certain things, but if, how is it that I'm able to watch a match from WrestleMania this year?
Right.
Yeah, obviously it's flown under the radar. No one's I think obviously if someone was to report it, that video would probably be taken down in a heartbeat. But, and like Jen and I earlier, we were talking about like Howard Stern. I go on YouTube and like, okay, you may not be able to hear like today's episode, but you can listen to the whole Howard Stern pod, his Sirius satellite radio show or XM satellite, whichever, Sirius XM satellite show. You could probably
Sirius XM.
You could probably listen to like yesterday's episode. The only reason you can't listen to today's is because whoever uploads it hasn't uploaded it yet. So, you could get tons of stuff on YouTube. So, I don't know, Jen, are you a YouTube? Like I have there's certain people like I could literally, I don't watch TV. I could literally watch YouTube all night.
No, I'm not a big YouTuber.
If you subscribe to the right amount of people, like there are people who put out steady enough content that, like I said, I generally the only okay, now we're in September, now it's the new season, and of course like when like the new episodes of Flash come on, I'm gonna watch that. When the new episodes of Gotham come on, I'm gonna watch it. Agents of Shield, I want to, but Agents of Shield's been getting really fucking corny recently, and and Mr. Robot. Well, we could talk about that later.
You and Mr. Robot, I swear to God.
Well, it's weird because I like the show and I hate it. I hate the show because it steals so much from Fight Club, but I like the show because it's a good show. It's and of course people are giving it weight. I mean, people are giving it praise, and like don't get me wrong, it's a great show. I mean, I don't think it's like the greatest thing. I mean, there's definitely better. I think you're getting a little bit more better if you watch like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones or something like that. But I mean, but it's on USA. USA Network is they're throwing their hat in the ring of trying to have their own. Like the way AMC has like The Walking Dead, or FX has Sons of Anarchy, or what was Breaking Bad? That was AMC also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think USA is trying to have its own thing with Mr. Robot, and if it does well, then they'll put more money into their own original. Every show, all these, it's all based on The Sopranos. After The Sopranos, what Sopranos did for HBO. Now every channel's trying to have its Sopranos. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? Edgy anti-hero show. So let's move on. Okay, on my list of topics, I would like to have a moment of silence for the passing of my cat, Anakin Gabriel Cologne. Yeah,
you gave your cat a middle name?
All the men in my family, our middle names are Gabriel. So I guess technically he has his middle name is Gabriel.
Oh Lord!
But yeah, I don't
know what I'm going to do with you sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, because my mom was up here, and I don't think it's my mom's fault, and I don't think my mom's dog kept my cat stressed the fuck out, and he was an older cat. He was 14 years old. I mean, I've had other cats I know some cats live to like 16, but my cat, I think the dog being in the house, and I think that kind of stressed him out, and he was getting a little
that happens to cats. They do stress out with certain changes, and it can cause problems like that.
Yeah, and I came home from work and he was laying because in my house, the bathroom, he'd like to hang out in the bathroom, because I was always like he hangs out in the tub. It's funny how cats they hate water, but they like being in the tub because it's cool, so. And he was laying right on the entranceway to the bathroom, and he wasn't responding, and I was like, oh shit, I knew it was coming, because he was starting his walking was getting a little wobbly and stuff like that, and I don't want to be depressed, or I don't want to bring down the tone or whatever, but I've had him since 2001, and the fucking guy, he was with me before I got married. He was with me before fucking 9/11. That's how long he's been with me. I got him in April of 2001. And so, moment of silence for Anakin. Let me see, buddy. Okay, let's talk about this Kentucky clerk, the one that's been denying everybody there.
I'll talk about that.
And fucking a judge held her in contempt of court and locked her ass up.
Yes, he did. I have some girl on my Facebook page that I knew that I worked with for a while ago, and it's just she's sitting there going, well, nobody should really be jailed. And I'm just like, what is it? I'm like, what are you talking about? She violated a federal order. Mm-hmm. You violated, not only did you violate a federal order, but you violated the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. You're going to jail, and you're going to stay there now until you fucking decide, oh, I'm not going to use religion as an excuse anymore.
Yeah, this is a civil rights issue. You can't get any more blatant discrimination, and I understand it's this is the very beginning, and and fucking 10 years from now we'll probably what the hell was the issue about, but you saw the wave coming, and part of me, look, I'm glad she's in fucking jail, fuck her, but if I was her boss, okay, maybe I would have just transferred her. I would have stuck her in some fucking windowless office, stick her in a fucking basement. Okay, look, we're not going to fire you, But, you know, your new office is fucking, you know, the old fucking slop sink in the fucking basement of the building. You know.
You're so cruel. Where's my stapler?
Yeah, exactly. She would have totally been that fucking guy, you know. Do you mind if we fucking push your desk back a little bit? Because, you know, this is why I'm so fucking, like, you know, I'm so, you know, separation of church and state, you know, whatever your beliefs are, you get paid to fucking issue licenses. You know, your boss is telling you this is what you got to do. So fucking.
Well, it's really not to interrupt you, but it's really funny because the judge actually pulled the, I don't know, deputy clerks in or whatever, like the other people that are like she's the direct boss of. Mm-hmm. There's 6 of them, and apparently like 5 of them are like, fuck that. I am not violating no fucking order.
Yeah.
I will. The other one, I would like to know what the other one said, because that's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get, you know, I get your religious beliefs, but you're not in fucking church. You know what I'm saying? You're not. You do your fucking job, and issue it, or we'll get someone to do the job for you.
Well, dude, and you know, it's kind of like I was saying on Facebook that this comes into an issue where, you know, here's the problem, and I know New York State has this. One of the things is you can't discriminate against somebody based on their religious beliefs. So here's the problem that they faced. If they go and they try to fire this bitch, what happens is she can claim, well, they fired me based on my religion, and that's technically a violation, and they're gonna fucking pay out a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. But see, now here's the thing is she didn't get fired. She violated a court order. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I was trying to explain to this one person on my Facebook. It's like, it's a court order. Okay, we're not jailing her instead of firing her. We're jailing her because she violated a court order. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, and people need to understand that when you violate a court order, you're going to jail. Period. Yeah. You're going to fucking jail. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going to jail, and you're going to stay there until either A, your punishment's up, or B, until you comply with the original order. And I don't know, dude. I feel like she's just doing this for attention. I mean, at this point, it's like there's got to be like Christian ministers that have called her and been like, "Can you stop this already?"
Yeah. Love
like,
thy
seriously.
neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Love thy neighbor. So, I mean, I just feel like it's just not needed, and it shouldn't have happened. It just do what is told of you and get it done. And I'm sure the governor said that, but see, the governor can't exactly. Again, it's kind of in a fishy kind of situation, because if you go to fire her, then she's going to claim that you fired her based on religious beliefs, which is true. And she could probably come back and get a shit ton of money.
Yeah, like I said, they should have just stuck her in a fucking office where she's asking for a swing line stapler. Now, Jen, what's I mean, because you're in Western Philadelphia. You're Western Pennsylvania, which is I've learned the term Pennsatucky from the show.
She has a banjo.
Orange is the New Black. There's people that live in the rural part of Western Pennsylvania, which is not too far from Kentucky itself. So they call the Hicks out there. They call them Pennsatucky. What's your opinion on that?
Well, there's a lot of people who are against stuff like that out here. I mean, it's hard, and for me, I like women. Mm. But you get picked on. There's nothing you can really do about that. But I mean, this is the real world. Suck it up. It's your job. Do it.
Yeah. And okay, let's move on. Motherfucker, that piece of shit. Now, talking about people who should be in fucking jail. And where the fuck is the judge on fucking Tom Brady?
That thing.
The charges are dropped or whatever. I had it on my.
Well, okay, charges is going a little too far. He didn't have a criminal investigation against him. The lawsuit, basically.
Judge. Okay, I'm going on Twitter right now. Judge nullifies Brady's suspension for Deflategate.
Yep. and it shouldn't have happened. And actually, this is a rare case, so it's kind of like this happening was something that shouldn't have happened. And now, I don't remember what the name of the other guy that's looking at his suspension, but now he may take them to court because of all this bullshit. So,
and I want to know more about this judge. You think there's some sort of corruption? You think maybe he got paid off or something like that? Or maybe he's
no.
Patriots fan?
I think I don't know. It took Adam. Adam Schefter on what was it on ESPN there. It seemed like he was taken back by this decision a little bit. I mean, he didn't really come out and say that, but it just made me think that maybe like he didn't expect this to come back like this. I think that the expectation is that, okay, fine, it wasn't going to be exactly what Roger Goodell wanted, but it was going to be like some kind of time. But instead, Brady didn't get anything. Now, obviously the NFL has the choice to appeal this, and I hope that they do, because, if they don't appeal it, it makes them look weak. And, you can't really have that on next week being like the opening week for football. So, I kind of hope they appeal it. I do hope that they try to, do something about it because, I personally, look, you're the quarterback. You're the person in control of the ball. You knew something about it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Let alone, I get it. I understand. You're a famous person. If you get a new phone, you're going to destroy your phone. But you're in the middle of an investigation, and then you tell, oh, by the way, I destroyed my phone.
Yeah.
I understand this isn't a criminal investigation, and he's not obligated at all to turn over anything. But at the same time, if you don't got anything to hide, just like Hillary Clinton, if you don't got anything to hide, turn over your fucking phone, not destroy it.
Yeah.
That's why he got this. That's why he got the 4-game suspension, because he destroyed his phone, and he said, "No, fuck you. You're not going to get to see anything." And I honestly, at the end of the day, he deserved the 4 games. If you're not gonna be like upfront and honest with these people, then why should they just let you get away with it? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's bullshit. It's what it is.
I just hate New England.
I just hate the Patriots. I think the Patriots have gotten away with way too many things, and it's not just that. It's like, okay, they did this, but yet they still got a Super Bowl ring out of it. Why? Like, how many more times do they need to cheat and win a Super Bowl till you strip them of a Super Bowl title? Seriously. Like, this should have... Okay, you confirm that the balls were deflated. Okay, so if that's the case, then they shouldn't have won the Super Bowl. Like, it was a playoff game that this happened in. That playoff, that should go to the Colts, and the Colts should be given extra... First of all, because they weren't able to go into the Super Bowl, they should be given extra draft picks. Number 2, on top of that, they should be and they should be taken from the Patriots, by the way, and given to the Colts. Number 2, the title should be stripped from them. Number 3, we shouldn't be like even having this conversation. There should be suspensions everywhere, and now like the Patriots are like, oh, well, we're gonna contest what we already confirmed and took on as a $1 million fine and everything. And I laugh about that because it's like, yeah, but you admitted guilt. So you can't really just go back on that. Just because your quarterback got off doesn't mean that you're going to get off. Sorry, you already said that you were guilty, so...
Throw Goodell in jail. Not Goodell, what's Belichick? Throw Belichick. Belichick should be in the same prison right next to the fucking chick from Kentucky.
Wow. You are one cruel man, sir.
So, in conflicting news this week, Hulk Hogan, one of my childhood heroes, he goes on Good Morning America to apologize about the racist statements. Now, of course, we've discussed this in the past. It was a conversation that was recorded illegally, released illegally. It was I don't want to say taken out of context, but, it's not a crime to be racist, I guess, and especially that it's not like Hulk Hogan. Now, of course, back to like that woman that was doing her, her job is to fucking give out marriage certificates. It wasn't like Hulk Hogan was keeping black guys from professional wrestling. it wasn't like Hulk Hogan was like, oh, I don't like black people, so they can't, I'm not going to hire a black guy. He was talking about, and I didn't know exactly the context, but it turns out he was talking about his daughter at the time was dating a black guy, and Hogan had used the N-word, and so he's apologizing. Now my thing is that, okay, you know what? It was put out there. The whole fucking world knows it. I mean, especially with the fact with WWE disavowing, like, sounds like, when Mission Impossible, like, if you get caught, the organization disavows their existence. I mean, the fact that WWE, and it's their right. I mean, WWE has every right to fucking strike him from the record and everything like that. But it seems so fucking like, so basically he goes on Good Morning America and apologizes. But then, and I was reading an article earlier, a TMZ guy is talking to him, and they're like, how do you feel about the GOP, the Republican candidates? And basically he goes, I want to be Donald Trump's running mate. And I mean, of course, look, okay, we have, wrestlers talk a lot of smack. That's half the game is, the more entertaining wrestlers. We don't care about wrestlers wrestling. I don't give a fuck about Hulk Hogan doing the fucking leg drop, hulking out and getting all, let me tell you something, brother. It's because he's good on a microphone. And, I mean, I know he's talking a lot of shit. I mean, he's like, I want to, Vice President Hulk Hogan, brother. But, I would think, because Trump, who's kind of like really fucking writing on the fact that, like, he's saying anti-Mexican stuff. And a lot of fucking people that are racist are backing him. Like, a lot of people like going to, like, Trump, like, yeah, okay, I got it. So if Hulk Hogan really wanted to be Donald Trump's running mate, he should have fucking just kept his mouth shut about apologizing. Because I think you'd probably get a bigger slice of Donald Trump's, fans if he continued to be known as a racist.
Well, he did explain that he grew up in a bad neighborhood, which is true, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, because let me tell you, let's just use the word N-word or whatever. You can say, you can, not that you can say, but I mean, there are people who use it in, it not as an insult. It's not, my what up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Or nigga, what? There's those obvious,
Oh, you're racist now.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm just saying, it's like someone does, nigga, what are you doing? You're not being racist. So I get where he's coming from. I think he's kind of bullshitting himself with that kind of, like, saying, oh, but if it's an everyday term, he wasn't saying, like, I don't know. It didn't sound right. It didn't sound like he was trying to be racist at the time. He was just, I mean, of course he was talking about race and talking about his daughter dating a black guy or whatever. But I don't, like I said, it's not, I don't think he wasn't holding anybody's rights back. He wasn't denying anybody a job or fucking a marriage license, so, but, and then did you see the video of the Spanish reporter that was talking to Donald Trump? And Donald Trump said, sit down, shut up. And they ejected the reporter. And then the guy, one of the, like, Donald Trump supporters told the reporter, go back to your country. Or he said, get out of my country. And the fucking reporter's like, I'm an American citizen. Now, mind you, the guy fucking had a thick fucking Spanish accent. But what a dick move. What a dick thing to say to somebody. Get out of my country. I really wish that guy should have punched that. And how come? Why hasn't anybody revealed the identity of that guy? Because he's on camera. You see his face. You hear him saying what he's saying to the dude. They should find out who the fuck that guy is. The guy that told the reporter, "Get out of my country." Because at least, not for nothing, and I'll just play devil's advocate here. Donald Trump kind of has a. He was just telling the guy, look, wait your turn. You weren't called. And that guy's, and it's right. You should wait your turn. If you're in a press conference. And of course now it's also Donald Trump chooses who's he's going to talk to. He can't, had that guy waited patiently, he would have never been called upon. But I mean, like I said, just playing devil's advocate, I get Donald Trump like being an asshole, but for that other, for the Donald Trump supporter to say, get out of my country, like, oh, please, can we find out who this guy is? Can we find out if he owns a business? Can we find out, who works for him or who does he work for? So we can boycott this cocksucker. And it's not even, I don't know, and it's not like I'm Mr. fucking pro, like, hey, yay, go Mexicans or whatever, but it's what a fucking dick move to say. You know what I'm saying? And now that's a guy that got caught on camera saying something. Why Hulk Hogan can lose his job, but this fucking asshole can't? Or not lose his job, but, just kind of, get the backlash of what he said. And people, when I said nigga before, I'm speaking in the vernacular. I grew up in New York City,
Right, people use that word not meaning anything racist or anything.
Yeah.
They just use it on a daily basis.
I'm not holding anybody back. I've had Darrell on this podcast several times. We've had Darrell on this podcast several times. It's not a racist thing. It's just
the views of Chris Cologne do not necessarily represent Paul Pasquale and the Tsunami podcast.
But I don't know. And of course, I think Hulk Hogan is just talking shit. Hyperbole would be the word I'm looking for. Okay, now this is I say that now I'm about to say okay, Paul, and you and I kind of went, and this is a topic I wanted to talk about the last podcast, and unfortunately we kind of, and once again, keep in mind my ex-wife was black. Right now.
That already means trouble. But
okay, like Paul and I, there was a shooting here in Rochester recently at a Boys and Girls Club. Now, mind you, it was at 11:30 at night, and it involved like 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds. But okay, it's summertime or whatever the case may be. Now, Paul originally shared the video, and I had shared it on Facebook also, about this guy saying, the guy's like, people sit here, and he goes, oh, one black kid shot another black kid. Where's the protests? Where's the people, in the streets? And he goes, oh, but if it was a white cop that killed this kid, they'd be shutting down Rochester. And this guy had a point. Now, you had shared the video, and I shared the video, and I don't want to get into it, but someone had commented, stop sharing this stuff or whatever, and I forgot how they said it, like just said, like telling me stop. And first and foremost, it's my Facebook page. I can do what the fuck I want. But
tell him, Chris. Tell him.
Yeah, but it's just like, but you can like. This guy has a point. In Rochester, and I don't know I think I mentioned this last episode, there has been gun-related violence every 36 hours in Rochester. Not every 2 days, every 36 hours, every day and a half, there's some sort of gun-related violence. And unfortunately, it's in the parts of town that is known for housing minorities. And look, say what I want to say. I live in the ghetto. I live in the hood. And I work in the hood. When those kids got shot at the fucking Boys and Girls Club, that Boys and Girls Club is 3 blocks away from my job. There was someone pulled out a gun at the bus stop right across the street from my job yesterday. So I was going online and I was watching, talking about Black Lives Matter, and I think that term needs to be adjusted. It needs. They say Black Lives Matter. Black lives also matter. Because there's people like, oh well, no, people you need extra civil rights. No, you don't need extra civil rights, because now there is an FBI study, and this is on, and you can look this up. There was a study taken. Now, mind you, it's from 2013, because obviously they can't get up to date statistics because they have to collect them. But in 2013, of people murdered and it's a study saying blacks that were killed by blacks. 55% of blacks. Now, this is nationwide. And mind you, minorities only make up 20% of the population in this country. Of black-on-black crime, 55% of blacks that are murdered by other blacks. The percent of black people killed by white people, 7%. So, and I had used this quote, like they say in the Bible, remove the log from your eye before you help me remove the splinter in mine. That black on black crime needs to be addressed also. Don't walk around with a fucking hashtag Black Lives Matter, but you're not going to protest when your own people get shot.
Well, here's the other problem too: is Black Lives Matter movement is actually under investigation by Homeland Security. So, so much for your movement not being a terrorist organization. Well, by the way, there was a black guy. It's on my Facebook page. That was on CNN today. I want to say he's the mayor or like a politician in one of the cities. And he's getting flack. Listen to this. He's getting flack because he's saying that all lives matter. You know what he said? You know what he said to the? I don't remember which anchor it was, but he's like, you know what? If people have a problem with me saying that all lives matter, then I just don't know what to say to them. like seriously, like what are you supposed to say to that? Like, you're a fucking idiot. You're dumber than any person I've ever met. You know, like, I mean,
the argument, one of the arguments, and trust me, I go to this stuff online, and people are like, well, you have to understand that when a cop pulls a person over, you know, they have to treat everyone the same, and it's like,
okay, so the cop that's at the pump, that's pumping his gas, doesn't even see anybody, they get shot in the back 15, 16 times. Yeah, that's him being racist.
But it's like, okay, you have to treat everyone. A cop has to treat everyone equally. And I don't think, you know, a cop doesn't wake up and say, I'm going to kill a black person today. You know, it's not, oh, I'm going to black guy and get away with it. It doesn't work like that. You know, when they say, and because there are people like, their argument is people need extra rights. Black people need extra rights to equal out. And I'm like, well, now you're defeating the whole purpose of civil rights. Civil rights is supposed to be across the board. You know,
right.
So how could you be there? You know, you want to tilt the fucking scales in the other direction. And yes, understandably, whatever the case may be, you know, black people are profiled a little more, and I'll give you that. But you know, you can't say, you have to say black lives also matter. You know, yes. I just black, it just does. You know, you can't say, oh no, I'm special and I deserve extra rights, because you might as because a white person could say the same thing also. You know, I deserve extra rights. I have more money. I deserve extra rights. So you know, I'm saying you kind of you're if you're saying you're doing this for equal rights, you're not doing it for equal rights. You're doing it for your own personal agenda or whatever. I don't know. So with that, we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
We hope.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now, for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Okay, so Jen, you've been awfully quiet.
This is how she usually acts. She's very quiet and somber and sits in the corner and is just like, I'll talk when I want to.
Oh, shut up, Paul.
Jen, who wins in a fight, Goku or Superman?
See, I don't know. We were talking about this earlier. I love Goku, but I would say Superman.
Paul, I think I already know where Paul's going with this one. I know Paul's going to answer to this one.
Well, see, here's the problem. Like, these videos that are out here, they seem to take like bits and pieces of Superman, and then they're like, oh, well, this Superman has this, thus he can destroy Goku. And, you know, there was that thing that you had up on Facebook, which I laughed at.
Someone had actually tried to use, like,
which would essentially
to describe.
Yeah, which would essentially mean that Goku in Super Saiyan 1 form is substantially more powerful than Superman. I tend to agree on the basis that Superman probably would win. But, you know, my problem with that whole situation is if Superman's going to destroy a planet in order to kill Goku, no. If Superman, and actually, to be honest with you, Superman, being the person that he is, wouldn't kill Goku he would just knock him out pretty much and just maim him.
Subdue him.
No. So, I mean, would Superman win in a fight? Yes, but would he kill him? No. He would never. The Superman's not that kind of person. There's other forms of Superman that you could argue that would kill Goku, but I mean, really, anybody, any Kryptonian that came from Krypton that's on Earth could kill Goku just because of the way that the sun interacts with their biology. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Every time that Superman is in direct contact with the sunlight, he gets substantially more powerful. And guess what? The sun's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, granted, Goku can get a spirit bomb, but is that spirit bomb more powerful than the sun?
And is it fast enough?
That's true.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you go for Goku so we can fucking fight about it. But
there's no like, there's.
Yeah, let's
argue
really over
like
fictional characters and who could win in a fight.
Well, I mean, they've also had this conversation with if you were to break it down to have because Goku is basically basic. Okay, he's got 3, 4. Well, I don't even know how many forms anymore that he has. But there hasn't been much of any change to Goku. Superman, if you see how many changes that have made, and you agree with me, Chris, over the years, like it's just like, whoa, what just happened?
Well, like, before, like, you know, when he first came out, it was like, oh, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Now he's fucking flying through space.
Exactly. Like, if you remember, they were pointing this out. The original Superman was like, I'm trying to think of who would be the best example of this. All he could do was jump. Like, he could jump really high.
Yeah, he wasn't flying. Like, he could jump so long that it would appear to be he's flying, but he's not flying.
He did have the strength that he did, and he could. Obviously, he was bulletproof.
Yeah, I mean, like, he could lift cars, he can stop trains.
Yes, he could hear. He was faster than a locomotive.
Yeah, which isn't that fast.
I think the laser eye thing came later, but I'm not sure.
What about the X-ray vision?
I think that was another add-on
exactly,
too. Actually,
yeah, exactly. It was.
I think that was an add-on.
They slowly keep giving him more powers. But see, now let me ask you something. Now they say he could hear. But if you're in outer space and there's nothing that can, sound transmits for sound to be transmitted, it has to be through a medium. If you're in outer space, like, okay, if you're Green Lantern and you've made a ball out of Green Lantern power and you're flying next to Superman through space, Superman can't hear you because there's no medium between the ball and Superman's ears. I don't care how super you are. There's nothing. The vacuum of space. There is literally absolutely nothing to carry the waves. I'm just saying, in all these cartoons, and they're in outer space, people are talking to Superman.
That's why it makes me laugh when I hear that Superman can fly through space now. Because here's the thing: Superman in the animated series, you guys all remember this, had a suit to go into space. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if he has a suit to go into space, why all of a sudden now can he, So that's the argument. That's pretty much the argument is, yes, Superman probably could destroy Goku, but A, which form are you talking about? And B, if we were to take it down to the basics, would Goku win in that situation? And to be honest with you, if we were talking about the basic Superman that we started from,
Goku would probably win.
Yeah, in one of Goku's higher range forms, he probably would have defeated him. I don't see, we keep pulling out all these new forms. Toriyama thinks that it's funny to bring out all these new forms, and it's just like, okay, you explained how he became a Super Saiyan God. He needs five Saiyans to do that, but you didn't really explain how he all of a sudden got blue hair and is that powerful, let alone how Vegeta went from Super Saiyan 2 to this new form 2, so it's kind of like, okay, we know what Super Saiyan 4 is, okay? Probably in that form, I'll be honest with you, Superman would probably die. Because
I'll act like I know what the fuck you're talking about because I don't watch.
I'll make this a quick.
But that'll take him a lot to build up to that form, though.
No.
Superman. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Superman. Well, I mean, if you're looking at the basic Superman again, Superman.
Yeah, but where he is now, Superman's ready to go, and then it will take Goku this whole amount of time to power up to whatever level he's going to go into. Even just the Super Saiyan, he has to power up.
Well, it depends on how how long he's had that form too. Like if he's had it for a long, let's assume that he's had Super Saiyan 4 for a long time. He should, within a minute, he should be Super Saiyan 4. You know, yes, granted, you know, Superman's kicking his ass, but he's going to throw him into a mountain at some point, and Goku's going to get pissed and go to Super Saiyan 4, okay? But, you know, and the reason why I say Super Saiyan 4 is, if we're going to take facts, we're going to use pure facts here, Super Saiyan 4, which is no longer canon anyways, was more powerful, was so powerful that even a wish from the Eternal Dragon that changed him into a kid was null and void, and he became an adult again. That's how powerful he was. So knowing that puts that situation into, okay, well, Superman would probably die. You know. Now, again, if you're going to use Superman that can go through space, that can absorb enormous amounts of sunlight and sun rays, where pretty much he should have cancer and die. You know, okay, fine, yeah. Obviously, if you're saying that the sun is going to continue to regenerate him, then yeah, obviously Goku's going to lose. But if we're talking about basics and we're just going from basic form to basic form, I'm sorry, but Superman's probably going to lose in the end. It is what it is.
Well, as you're talking, because I remember there was a scene. I want to say it was from All-Star Superman. Using the animated universe as a reference, they're saying Superman can lift 200 quintillion tons.
Is that the one? Is that video? What is
I want to say it's from All Star Superman, but it's where it's like an alternate universe, Lex Luthor or whatever, and he built a machine that can simulate 200 quintillion tons, and you know, and they're saying that's like 200 quintillion days. I want to say it's like a couple of suns or something like that. It's like,
yeah. So
if he can 200 quintillion tons, I don't know. I think Goku would get his ass handed to him. But I just say that as a patriot, as a
as a DC soldier. Yes, you say that. But you know, again, it's just incredibly, it's kind of funny because, like, it just shows you how two different cultures act. You know, USA is just like, yeah, we're just going to beef him. We're going to continue to beef him up. Oh, we can't beat him in this form? Well, we're just going to give him this power. Now he can beat him. You know, whereas, like, the Japanese are just like,
it's all about the power up.
Yeah, this is the way it is. This is how he does this. Simple. You know, so it shows you the difference. And yes, as you said on Facebook, Chris, yes, obviously, you know, Goku is, you know, the Japanese version of Superman.
Yeah, if you support Goku, you're anti-American. You're like, if you know, do people not remember Pearl Harbor? You know, so I mean, you know, and of course,
Hey, I got a question for you. What the fuck has Superman done for Toonami lately? He can go fuck.
And then again, I mean, I see the gloss over the fact that, you know, I own a PlayStation 3 and a PlayStation 4, both of which are made in Japan.
Exactly.
God knows what other technology I have that's made in Japan. So, I mean,
iPhones are made in Japan. So,
yeah. So I was waiting for people to kind of like dig into it, and that's why I was like, nah, you know, it's. Yeah, you know, we can sit. I'm calling people unpatriotic yet. I own Japanese products, so you know. I was just trolling that day. I wanted to see, but I still, to me, Superman, he's our guy. Truth, justice, and the American way, the ultimate illegal alien.
The ultimate.
Yeah, he showed up. He never got his papers.
Jesus Christ!
You know, how did Martha Kent and see? Because in my version of Superman, the Kents were always very, very old people. Like I know they try to they kind of try to make them younger and stuff like that. But you know, how did these old people just explain a fucking baby shows up? You know,
right?
How does Pa Kent?
How did they adopt him?
Yeah, exactly. Because he had to go to school. They had to have some, you know. And mind you, and this is Kansas. Like this is like the middle of America. How do you like send him to school and like, oh well, where's his birth certificate? Oh well, you know,
he needs a social security number.
Hey, look, a bird.
I wonder. That's how did he go to school? How did he? I don't know. How does Clark Kent pay his taxes? You know. This kid just magically shows up out of nowhere, you know? I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, didn't somebody do some investigation on what the hell these...
Well, see, Chris, that's called one of those details we don't really need to know, nor do we care about.
Yeah, yeah. Someone left a child on our doorstep.
I mean, it's the same. This is. I mean, we could let's just replace Goku with Batman. Obviously, Batman, like, people can be, Batman's gonna lose. Well, Batman's gonna lose. But see, there again, here's the thing, and this was highlighted in one of those videos. Goku wouldn't use kryptonite against Superman because he thinks that's a weakness, and he doesn't want Superman to have any weakness when he beats him. He wants to just beat him as he is. Whereas Batman's like, fuck this shit. Here's some kryptonite, kryptonite asshole.
I'm playing to win, motherfucker.
Here, hold this real quick.
I will gouge eyes. I will fucking pull hair like a bitch.
But there again, to defeat fucking Darth Vader, he'll fucking get Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, look, somebody's racing. Actually, that was Superman.
Yeah. And mind you, it's fucking. We're recording this at fucking. It's like 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Which helps bring me to my next topic. As we're recording this, like I said, it's 1:15 in the morning. At midnight, Paul, we could have went to Target. We could have went to Target for Force Friday. Today's Force Friday. Well, now technically it's Force Friday, where all the Star Wars toys.
Do you want to force me to do something on Friday? No, I'm sorry, I don't do that.
Force it down your throat. Suck it. No, no. The toy. Now, here's the deal. Now, I obviously look. I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. I really am. And that being said, I'm not gonna lie. I got Star Wars toys in my house. I got a Darth Vader. I'm looking at a little toy Yoda I have right now on my desk or whatever.
Yes, we know you're a nerd.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. Now, I belong to these communities online. I belong to Star Wars toy collector communities. And, you see these guys that are like, they have their whole house dedicated to Star Wars. And they have shelves and shelves and shelves of toys and toys. And somehow some of these guys found a woman that's understanding enough, that would tolerate fucking, shelves and shelves and shelves of toys. And
what would be really funny is if I had if I had like tons of shelves of Star Wars stuff, Kelsey would be like, "Why didn't you dust them today?" I'd be like, "What? So wait, you don't have a problem with them with the shelf of toys, but that you want me to dust them? If you're gonna have a fucking, she's gonna be like, if you're gonna have a shelf, you're gonna fucking dust that shit." Yeah, whatever.
But yet all these guys are getting excited about going to a fucking store and buying more of the shit. There's people who there are people who literally who've probably waited online in front of Target for a couple hours, and we haven't seen it now, and I haven't watched the news, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow we're going to see footage on the news of people waiting outside. And I just say Target only because Target's known as one of the more bigger retailers that are supporting Force Friday, that are actually there are Targets open tonight right now because of fucking Force Friday. And it's like, dude, you already have a house full of shit and you're going to go out and get more shit. It's just, it blows my mind. And this is coming from someone who, I get it. I get having a Yoda doll. I get having a fucking Darth Vader. You don't even know if these characters are going to fucking be good, of course, I mean, I think the movie's going to rock, but, you don't even know who this character is. There has been so little released on any of these characters. That's this would be like if someone bought the equivalent today of a Jar Jar Binks. You go, oh, this is Jar Jar Binks is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. Then the movies come on, you're like, oh, it's a piece of shit. I bought this fucking, I paid whatever, because, there's people hitting the stores today, and then tomorrow all the shit's going to be on eBay. You know what I'm saying? So the people who couldn't find this, this particular toys. What if?
And it'll be overpriced.
Yeah, exactly. I paid $75 for a fucking Jar Jar Binks doll. So you don't even know what these characters are, and I understand getting excited, and even after, I can understand if you waited till the movie came out and said, "Oh, I love this," I love this character, I'm going to buy their toy, but to buy it now for what? For some sort of weird, funky nostalgia. And this is coming from a guy who, like I said, I get owning toys. I understand, but to me, it's like, wow, holy shit. They got drummed up. They got hyped this shit out like nobody's business. I can't believe how big it is. I mean, the fact that they're calling it Force Friday. And now, mind you, all the communities that I'm on Facebook, there are people who at Walmart already bought a bunch of these toys. They're like Walmarts who didn't realize that they were not supposed to put the stuff out. So you see guys who already took pictures with fucking literally boxes of shit. It's like, well, maybe they went to the Walmart. Maybe they went and paid the guy off a couple bucks and say, hey, look, here's $50. Because then you go sell that shit on eBay and make a couple $100. But I don't know. It's just useless pieces of plastic, and this is coming from a guy who fucking buys useless pieces of plastic. And it's just way too much. Okay, and in my last story, me and Jen were we were talking about Mr. Robot earlier. Neither one of us has seen the series finale. I may watch it tonight after we're done recording, but like I said, it's a good show. Unfortunately, it just rips off so much of a Fight Club. It's fucking sad.
Yeah, it does.
But I had taken a picture. I went about 3 blocks from where I grew up. There's the dumpling house. I don't know. I might have mentioned this on the last episode, but what was that? But a dumpling house where basically it's the same apartment where Elliot and Shayla live. For people who watch the show, and it's like I said, that was like 3 blocks from my house. A lot of that show's filmed in downtown Manhattan, so when I watch it, I get reminiscent of my old home.
So you have pictures of it?
Oh yeah, I have a picture of me standing in front of the dumpling house. I posted it on Facebook.
Oh, I need to see that.
Oh, okay, I'll put it in the feed in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my last story, and okay, so they're putting out the new James Bond movie next year, James Bond Spectre. So from what I understand, I believe it's already done filming. They're just doing the editing and whatever CGI they may have to do, or whatever the case may be. But the rumors are this is Daniel Craig's last movie as James Bond. So people are speculating on, okay, who's going to be the next James Bond? And there has been, a large internet contingent that is saying Idris Elba should be James Bond. Like we should finally get a black James Bond. Because depending on who you talk to, a lot of people, there are people who believe that James Bond is more of the same way like he's 007, like all these movies with different actors, it makes sense because, they're not make sense, but James Bond isn't the name of that person. James Bond is the identity that's made up by MI6. It's and so you can have, fucking Sean Connery and fucking Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig all, they're just different agents at different times who have taken on the persona of James Bond. Just like calling him 007. It's just a pseudonym. It's a name you take on to be James Bond. So if you follow that string of logic, there's nothing wrong with there being a black James Bond. Now what happens is the estate.
But let me cut you off there real quick. There's never been a black James Bond.
There was never a black president until Obama. I mean, someone has to be the first. And if you thought I was racist the first part of the show, here where I redeem myself in the second part. So.
See, now it comes out. We know.
I'm just saying, if I sounded racist, is I think it perfectly makes sense. Why wouldn't there be a black James Bond? Now, okay, let me just get back to the story real quick, and then I'll get into my opinion. The representative from the estate, because the person actually the gentleman who wrote the books, the original books that James Bond was based on, has passed away. But there's a new person writing under those books, and they are a representative of the estate that controls James Bond, kind of has the last say in how it's being represented. Said that they will not have Idris Elba play James Bond because he is quote unquote too street. Now, what fucking movies is this guy watching? Idris Elba speaks with a fucking British accent. He played a god in fucking Thor, for Christ's sakes. He could play a Norse god, but he can't play a fucking British secret agent. So I'm like, it makes no sense. I thought, and my one teeny tiny argument is that Idris Elba's maybe a little too old. But then again, there's, a badass is a badass. I mean, I don't think you could I think having him play fucking James Bond would be interesting. It'd be a little different. It would be, fun. How could you? That's obviously someone who lives in a fucking very, very sheltered world, and saying he's too street. How the fuck is he too street? The guy speaks with a British accent, for Christ's sake. No one from Great Britain could be too street. Not when you're from Great Britain.
This is true. This is true.
It's fucking, unless you fucking sound like Ali G or some shit like that. I mean, there's no way you could be too street. I mean, not too street. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what fucking world this person lives on where they think Idris Elba is quote unquote too street to play James Bond. So unless there's anything else you guys want to throw out there, I think we should wrap it up.
That's what she said.
Okay, so please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find all things show related. First and foremost, you can find our links to our iTunes page. You can go back and you can't listen to all 3 years worth of episodes because we've run out of server space. But you can pretty much go back about 2 years or so and listen to older episodes on iTunes. Or if you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod, you can download us on the Stitcher app. That's STITCHER. That's the Stitcher app on Android devices. And what I like about Stitcher is that when you're at home, you can download the episodes while you're in your Wi-Fi spot. And of course, you could do this on the iTunes page also. Download the episodes you like, and Stitcher keeps you updated with the most recent 10 episodes. Download them while you're in a Wi-Fi spot so you don't kill the data on your phone. And when you're out and about, if you're driving your car, you're in the gym, and I would love to know that people are listening to this podcast when they're supposed to be working. If you're working and you're listening to this podcast, it'd be so fucking awesome. So, you're not killing your data. And, every podcast worth listening to is on Stitcher. Kevin Smith's Smodcast, Chris Hardwick's The Nerdist, Mark Maron, Adam Carolla, This American Life, and of course the Toonami Faithful podcast. They're all available on Stitcher, so you can follow all of these shows and listen to them later on. And Stitcher, and like I said, when I was the other night, a couple months ago, when I was working overnights at my job, I used Stitcher to download all the podcasts I listened to and listen to it while I was supposed to be working. While I was working, I was just listening, I was listening to podcasts while I was working. If you want to get in contact with the show, which hopefully if we put out this episode, will go out before Oscar can complain.
He's going to complain anyway, yeah. So whatever.
So you can write to us at twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. That's all spelled out, twostrangersonepodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. I've been purposely uploading older episodes onto Facebook. I've been uploading to YouTube also. So if you go to our YouTube page, our Facebook page, you could listen to old episodes. The episodes that you haven't heard, or if let's just say you want to go back and listen to the first fucking 20 episodes of Two Strangers on a Podcast. Unfortunately, they're no longer on iTunes. You can listen to them on our Facebook page, or I would prefer you listen to them on YouTube because those videos are monetized and we get a couple bucks. So I was told I can't encourage people to click the links when the little ad pops up in the beginning, but if you happen to click the link before the video starts, that'd be awesome. I'm slowly but surely putting all the episodes up on YouTube. One, because it's free, saves money for server space, and actually, if we monetize the videos and you guys watch the videos and you click on the advertising, it would be kind of like supporting the show. But I also have them on Facebook. I just for the sake of getting the word out, I have uploaded the videos to Facebook also. So either way, you can go back and listen to old episodes. And once again, you could just go to YouTube and look up Two Strangers on Podcast. You can see a couple of my stranger vlogs. I keep fucking dragging my feet about putting out new ones, but the first 10 are up there. I got so many planned. I just fucking have no time. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow us at Stranger Podcast, which is basically just a retread of our Facebook page. But that's all of it. That's all I can think about it right now. I request the floor to you, Paul.
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at Paul Skrillo. You can find me on Instagram, instagram.com/PaulSkrillo. You can also find me. You can ask me questions, ask.fm/Paul Skrillo. I'm sure you're sensing a pattern here. And, of course, you can listen to me, as Chris alluded to, on the Toonami Faithful podcast, which is released every single week. So please make sure you tune in for that. There's no conspiracy theories against Chris. Giving you an evil look right now. And then we are currently in the process of pre-order for We Are the Faithful. If you guys are interested in purchasing that CD, you can pre-order it by going to geekyproductions.bandcamp.com. Click on the album picture for We Are the Faithful, and you can go there and you can pre-order there now. And as a exclusive announcement, so to speak, you can only purchase, if you purchase it from Bandcamp, that is the only place that you'll get an exclusive free track from. I'm hoping to put that free track up on SoundCloud so you guys can hear what that is, but that's the only way that you can get that track. So make sure that you order the CD now because it's really good. And it's all about One Piece. So there you go.
Geeky Inc. GeekyInc.com.
No, Productions.
I'm sorry. Well,
the website's geekyinc.com. But if you're doing Bandcamp, it's geekyincproductions.bandcamp.com. If you want to listen to some of the songs, it's soundcloud.com/geekyincproductions.
And Jen, you want to, or I don't know, could you use a couple more stalkers or what?
Oh, yeah. I can always
she
use more
loves
stalkers. Oh, yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Tarzana, and that's TARZANUH, Tarzana.
And you can find her on the Crane.
Yeah, I like to write it.
And you can hear her contributing to episodes of the Toonami Faithful podcast.
When I so desire her to come on.
Yeah, you have no say in that.
Who pays for the podcast?
Well, I want to thank Jen for coming on to the show. I appreciate it, and thank you for chatting with me as we waited for Paul to eventually get online. As he took his
Thank you for having me on.
He took his sweet
The
time.
pipes are clean.
These pipes are clean. So we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jen.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace.
Bye. You should be fapping. Nothing, Jen?
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double
it?
Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
but it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia is spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it, that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know, you're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I
and
will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne right now.
No, sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.